Thank you very much. Apple activist shareholder Justin Danhof joins us right now. He's concerned about the guy running Apple, Tim Cook, and whether Cook is dropping the ball. Good to have you back with us, Justin. You're not really necessarily delighted with this comeback today. You've still seen the stock swoon from its highs, but it is up appreciably over the course, I'm sure, of the time you've had it. So Tim Cook could come back at you and say, well, I'm doing a fine job. What are you whining about? What do you say?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on again, Neil. And I think we can actually tie in Iran to what is going on with Apple. Where I see Tim Cook's failure of leadership is in trust, right? When Tim Cook comes out as this social liberal engineer, he talks about gay and lesbian rights issues. So what does he do? He pens an op-ed blasting Indiana's religious freedom law that is really about taking away power from the government and giving it back to the people. And he has a problem with that. He calls that discrimination, what's going on in Indiana. So why is Apple willing to open its doors and do business with Iran, a state sponsor of terrorism? So what we get with Tim Cook is the message doesn't match the action. So there's a trust factor
as an investor,
issue.
I'm going to be very, very crass. As an investor, what do you care? If the company makes money and does well and makes nifty products, that's great. Your argument, I believe your last argument when you were here, was that they're distracted. This kind of stuff, the gate thing, the doing business with Iran thing, it just distracts from the greater mission, and that is coming up with neat, cool stuff that keeps making money, right?
Well, absolutely. Apple, I mean, I was listening to Rush Limbaugh the other day, and he had something to say that's very applicable to Apple.
That shocks me that you were listening to Rush. That's out of character for you, but go ahead.
That it was easier for him to get to the top than stay on the top. And for Apple to stay on the top, you're right. They need to focus on innovation. So a lot of what we've been seeing in Apple with the social issues, with things like the Apple Watch, this autonomous car, Project Titan, it's a distraction from the core business. And I think a lot of Apple
insiders... But would you have said that? No, you think about it, though. Would you have said that when they apparently got distracted with the iPad, or they got distracted with the phone? In other words, that these were areas that were outside their purview at the time, and now we learn in retrospect they did okay.
Sure, you bring up a great point, Neil, but I think that where we have a problem is the trust factor, because there were shrouds of secrecy regarding a lot of Apple products in the Steve Jobs era. But time and time and time again, he delivered. So the market built a trust factor when Steve Jobs would have some secrecy regarding a project, right? There is no trust factor with Tim Cook in his level of secrecy. The iWatch is, the first big innovative project. It was hugely delayed. The sales have been poor so far, and they wouldn't segregate it out in their last quarter earnings report. So again, there's a lack of transparency. So he hasn't built that level of trust.
Do you still own a lot of Apple stock, or have you gotten rid of it, or are you waiting for a management change? What?
Well, no, I still own Apple stock. I just think that where Tim Cook is distracting the business, there is a level of trust that he hasn't earned with investors because he doesn't have the track record yet to have this lack of transparency and to be so focused on these social issues where the rhetoric of Tim Cook doesn't match Apple's business, whether it's on the gay and lesbian issues or the climate change issues.
Your only point is it's distracting him from his core business. All right, very well said. Justin, thank you.
Thank you, Neil.